They actually start subtly devaluing you in the very beginning.
This is a very accurate video I recommend checking out. One of the things that I learned right away was when I woke up and was outside of my cognitive dissonance, really for the first time in my life, I started going out and socializing, and immediately I realized my life had changed, and it was the most exciting thing. I was sitting at a bar and, to get dinner, and there was a woman next to me, and she engaged me. She started talking, and she oriented herself right to me. She's very touchy-feely, and right away, she was effusively validating. Now, this is really cool to see because the validation that she had was about my looks, my intelligence, and none of this stuff really mattered to me. But it was nice, she was being nice, so, no big deal. And something really amazing happened was, she seemed really interested. And, okay, like, great, cool. And she asked me a question. She asked me, so what do you think about masculinity and femininity in dating? And I was like, oh, interesting. And I was actually excited because at this time it was really early in my little TikTok career, and I had, maybe 1,000 followers or some amount. I don't know, but I really had woken up to just the joy of sharing ideas and communicating. And so this was kind of like the first time, in a while that somebody had really seemed interested in ideas. And so I started talking, and I started, sharing. And the most amazing thing happened was about 30 or 45 seconds into what was going to be a beautiful rant, I felt like I hit a wall. It was an emotional block. Like it was something that I felt. Now, instead of plowing through it, I stopped. And I kind of took notice, and I looked at what it was. It was that when I was talking, she started shaking her head no and rolling her eyes and doing like these gestures that were very negating, that like it was as if she was arguing with me in her head or something. And so I stopped talking and I acknowledged that. I said, hey, it seems like you're being argumentative with me or something, because I was curious, and she was actually taken aback a little bit, and she just said something like, well, everybody has an opinion. And right then and there, I thought, how odd. Right? And I said to her, I said, that's an interesting thing to say. It's true, everybody has an opinion, but can you see that that's kind of invalidating? Like if everybody has an opinion, which is true, there's the guy out there pushing the shopping cart, there's anybody else to talk to, but you ask me for my opinion. If my opinion's worthless to you or just like anyone else's, then why bother? And she kind of reacted and was like, well, I just don't agree with everything that you had to say. And I was like, that's okay too. You don't have to agree with everything I have to say. But out of curiosity, what was it that you don't agree with? I would love to hear. And she was then stuck again. She was like, well, you just started rambling, so I kind of, I don't know. I'm not even sure you know what you were saying. I was like, rambling. I found that amusing. I was like, well, actually, to be direct about it, what I shared with you is a very well developed thought. I actually was excited to share my ideas. And, when I meet someone new, it's not about whether I agree or disagree, right or wrong. If I ask you what you think about something, I just listen to you because I want to understand you. I want to get to know you as a person. But here, let me show you. I literally started the whole conversation over, meaning that I went right back as if I was recording another TikTok video. And I literally demonstrated to her that not only was I not rambling, but I was actually sharing something, of interest to me personally. And I just kind of like showed her, like, I just literally, like, you don't know who you're talking to. Like, I literally just started over and redid the whole conversation and stopped right there. I said, okay, inside of what I just said, is there anything in there that you don't agree with and you like to share? She literally grabbed this dude that had kind of moved back into our space, and it's like, oh my God, do you see what he's doing? He's projecting right now. And I was like, oh, I see what's going on. Like, that's what I thought. I was like, that's interesting. I'm projecting. So actually, for your information, what she's doing is projecting. She's projecting that I'm projecting. And I think this would be called triangulation. Triangulation, yeah, that this is triangulation. Hey, let me show you something, bro. And so I literally took my phone out and I like brought him to my TikTok. I'm like, look, dude, I do this anti-narc thing. And look, I got a video on projection. And me and him are watching videos and I'm talking. And I've got her just on timeout. And then after I was done talking to him, I was like, oh my gosh, hold on. I got this narcissist right here. I literally just went right back to her. I was like, hey, where were we? It was projection, right? What did she do? She started praising me again. Oh my God, like, you are just the most intelligent, blah, 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 And I'm just looking at her amused. She was praising me to high heaven as if like, now suddenly, I'm just this genius and it's so impressive. And I'm just watching in amazement. I watched her then go from that to get angry. I just don't believe that how a man, and a woman opens up and is vulnerable and you're just so intimidating because of your intelligence and it's difficult enough to talk to someone like you. Then she turned into a full victim. And I don't understand why you would ever even talk to that. And I'm just watching. And I'm like, this is amazing. I said this to her. I said, I don't know what to say. I'm like, you started off praising me to high heaven. You asked me what I thought about something. I share what I think. And you're a victim to me? You're the victim. Wow. It's like, that's incredible. She was just stunned. She just signed her receipt. She walked away with her tail tucked. Like, I think she was shocked. Like, I made a video about it. Like, if you're present with a narcissist and you like start calling out the narc behaviors, but you're not even triggerable, like they just rapid cycle, and so the point of the matter is that I discovered something so profound for myself that in that little conversation, I saved myself 3 years of mental manipulation because I would not have detected any of that. That the validation was empty. The anger was empty. It was emptiness. It was all false. It was all manipulation right from the get-go, right from the jump. right.